From a little cover, I got my dreams in sight. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roots to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my boys crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, 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 and thank you for joining me this evening. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thoughts. Guys, girls, we have been doing such amazing travels from our bear cave to a lot of different promotions around the world to understand and get just a taste of what it's like to be a promoter, a owner, a booker in this crazy world that we call wrestling. And man, this gentleman that I have tonight is pretty special to me. As I like to tell anyone, I'm lucky that I have two promotions really close to me that they make me feel like family. No matter when I go, they always give me a hard time, and that's because they like me very much. And again, they are just tremendous. One is KFW, and the other one is Joe Cazana Promotions. So, of course, I have Joe Cazana. Sir, how are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing very, very well. How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain. Can't complain. Before we get started, I like to, boys, girls, look in the right-hand corner above Mr. Cazana. That is his logo. So when you go to look for their stuff, you know you have the right company, because there are so many companies out there and they have similar names, similar letters. So we want you to be clear on what you are looking for. And
Yeah, but they don't have similar wrestling.
There you go. And if you're like Professor Bear, if something is easier for you, you will appreciate it. So I have put up a QR code. You use that QR code, it would take you to their Jesus. It would take you to
YouTube page.
Thank you. YouTube page. And you can see such amazing action. And if you're in the
Hey, Bear, real quick, look who's
Yes,
popping
sir.
in right here. What's going on? Man?
Hey, what's going
How you
on,
doing?
sir? Doing good. It's funny. I need to talk to you and your brother about something.
What we do?
It's not what you did, it's hopefully what you can do.
Oh, he's wanting something.
I got something special that I would want. want to run by y'all. And again, I know y'all busy men, so I will get with you and talk to y'all about it.
Hey, listen, you can get with them March the 7th in Dayton, Tennessee at
Oh,
Ray County
I'm
Middle
coming.
School.
I'm definitely coming
Well, the
because
boys are going to be there along with the world heavyweight champion Silas Mason, the national heavyweight champion Gut Check Mondo. Everybody's going to be there at this show, including the Page sisters.
Y'all are wild. I'm going to sit in the hot tub.
I definitely I got it marked on my calendar. I'm definitely going to be there.
Good deal.
So I have to start where I start with all of my guests. How did you become a wrestling fan?
I'm not a fan. Are you kidding me? I hate this business. No, I mean, listen, when you're born into the business, it's kind of like the mafia. You really don't have much of a choice, you know. And being born into the professional wrestling game, you know, back in the '60s, you know, it's like, okay, there is no option. Your family's in the business. It's you know, you're gonna have to be in this business. I mean, there's just no two ways around it. So being a fan, I mean, you could say I've always been a fan since the day I was born. I mean, I honestly, I do love professional wrestling, but it is a love-hate relationship from time to time.
Definitely can understand that.
Yeah.
So you have been literally all over the world doing wrestling. And like you said, your family, it's just a part of your blood.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I've always been curious about is when you were doing your wrestling and that journey, did you ever think you would live on with being a promoter? Did you have the understanding that you wanted to do something else, or you just had it in your mind, one day this is going to be my thing and I'm going to do it?
No, absolutely not, man. I wanted to go to college, which I did. And, you know, it was, honestly, college isn't what it's cracked up to be, or at least it wasn't for me.
Right.
So, I got through the first couple of years, and it was, you know, I said, this is driving me crazy. So I spent, you know, one full semester in an arcade playing Galaga and Miss Pac-Man. And I said, you know, this college thing's not for me anymore. And I had no direction whatsoever. I mean, absolutely none. And the story was, Ron Fuller had been after me to train forever, and I never would. So once my grandfather, when he passed away, it was kind of like, okay, you're going to have to make a decision and do something, you idiot, you know? And so I went ahead and begrudgingly went to professional wrestling 101 school. And 4 months later, I'm doing my thing. And, you know, 11 months after that, I'm with the National Wrestling Alliance. So, I mean, it was rough, you know, rough few first months, but I mean, you know, like I said, it was just never in the cards for me to do anything, you know, outside of professional wrestling when it comes to school or anything like that. Now, I've held down, you know, regular jobs. I've actually retired from a regular job. So, I mean, it's not like I've not done anything. It's just
Right.
that professional wrestling is, you know, you watch The Godfather, and there's a line in The Godfather that Michael Corleone says, and it's just, you know, the line is something like, just when you think you're out, they pull you back.
Yeah.
You know, and when you think you're out, you get pulled back. And I've been pulled back 2 or 3 times, but this last time that I was pulled back into the business, it was a good thing. And, you know, I'm going basically, walk away from the wrestling business as soon as this run with the National Wrestling Alliance is over, which, I don't see it being over for quite some time.
Is it a good feeling knowing that you started with the NWA to now be back with the NWA?
It is like a full circle moment. I mean, I know Joe Galley has said it on television a couple of times. It's when you're born into the wrestling business, I was born into the NWA. My grandfather was an NWA territory, and I wrestled for the NWA, God, off and on for my throughout my whole career, and now that I'm with the Lightning One era of the National Wrestling Alliance, it's a full circle kind of a thing, and I've been there 3 years now, and it just seems like we started all this at Always Ready 3 years ago. It seems like it was yesterday. So yeah.
And it's funny that you say that, because I can remember the first time I got a chance to meet you. It was at a show, and I came up to you. You, like you usually are, you're a busy man, and you were running around. And I kind of felt bad because I was like, I know I'm disturbing them, but this may be my only chance to talk to them. And I was like, hey, sir, my name's they call me Professor blah, 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 blah. If you ever need a place to show your shows, my stuff. And you was like, you are one of the nicest people.
Thank you.
I have met. And you were busy, but you took the time to say, thank you very much. But we're about to go with the NWA, and I can't, but maybe we can do something later on.
Right.
You were just such a gentleman.
Thank you.
And that's the one thing that makes me proud to be, as I call myself, a junior member of Joe Cazana Promotions. That I no matter where I go, I represent y'all.
Well, we appreciate it. I mean, if it wasn't for, wrestling fans and really and truly, I mean, it's not just the wrestling fan. I mean, you're very knowledgeable when it comes to professional wrestling. So, the ins, the outs. So, I mean, anytime you can get, somebody like yourself to be a fan of what we're doing, that's big. So we appreciate it.
And it is funny because anytime I see your sons, AJ always picks with me every time he sees me.
Yeah, well, AJ picks at everybody. I mean, he's an equal opportunity picker. So I mean,
and I love it. I can remember the first time I had the opportunity to talk to AJ.
Yeah,
I had it was right before I actually had my back surgery. I could really not stand up straight. I couldn't stand up long. And y'all were doing the show in the Knoxville Convention Center.
Oh boy, yeah.
And he was standing there, and I just happened to catch his attention. And the first thing I said to him, I said, hey, I think you might need a bodyguard. And he just kind of looked at me weird. I said, yeah, I know you're a big boy. And then I stood up. I said, but I'm bigger. And he just laughed at me. And that's where our just ribbing each other comes from.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, y'all put on tremendous work. Y'all have such great wrestling action. And I may be biased when I say this, but it's the type of wrestling that I grew up on. It's perfect. I love everything I could see in the old NWA is what y'all do, but modern.
100%. And that is exactly what Billy wants us to do as far as the territory goes. I mean, our job is to find the next generation of talent. Because it's Austin Idol and I talk a lot, and there's a lot of times that we'll sit down and it'll be like, this next generation is going to have to come on and they're going to have to do this. He said, because we're not going to be here forever. I mean, I'm not young anymore. Idle's not young anymore. None of us older guys that have paved the way for these younger guys, we're not going to be here forever. And they're going to have to take the ball and run with it. That's why it makes me feel really, really good to know that the NWA is in great hands with Billy Corgan. People can say whatever they want to about the product. People can say whatever they want to about what we're doing. But the problem with people is they're mighty, mighty brave when they get behind this computer screen, but they completely lose their, what's the word I'm looking for? And I know what I want. They lose their guts and they come face to face with somebody, and people are going to sleep on the NWA. And if that's what they want to do, let them sleep on us. The ratings on Roku are, out the roof, regardless of what, you see on social media and on the internet and everything else. It's really, to me, it's really crazy to sit here and think, oh, by the way, right now, if you want to, hop off of here real quick and go watch us on Roku, it's on Roku right now, live power. But anyway, to get back to the story, it's like it just chaps me that people have all this quote unquote knowledge about what the NWA is doing, but take it from somebody that's there, that it has been there, that was there. Take it from me that the NWA is just fine, and you know what? There's not anybody out there that's ever going to be able to take out the WWE. I mean, everybody should understand. And when you're a $1 billion corporation, only way you're going to get beat is to beat yourself. And, whatever. But the NWA is, we're not to be taken lightly. Let's just put it that way. Look at the talent.
Oh, yeah.
Look at our world heavyweight champion, homegrown Silas Mason. Now, again, people are going to say, "Oh, Silas Mason." Okay, go ahead and say that all you want to. He's a veteran. He's been around the business for year upon year. He's a non-federation guy. He's a local product. He is a homegrown NWA talent, and he's a world champion. Kenzie Page was the same way. Homegrown talent. One of the greatest women, actually not even greatest women, one of the greatest wrestlers in the business today. Believe me, I know. We've been in the ring with those girls, her and Kylie both, and their dad, and we've taken our lumps. At Samhain, we were in a tag team match. The brothers against the sisters, and then myself and Tommy Henry on the outside. And I'm going to tell you right now, that match stole the show. It stole the show. It was that good. It was that competitive. Kenzie Page, homegrown. Kylie Page, homegrown. The Country Gentleman, homegrown. Joe Cazana, okay, homegrown with this particular era. I have worked for the WWF. I have worked for the old NWA/WCW. I've been there, done that, but I'm a homegrown talent. Again, like I said, Silas, homegrown. So, and look at the U.S. Tag Team Champions. Who in their right mind would have thought that the Slime Balls were going to be the United States Tag Team Champions 2 years ago?
Right.
Nobody.
Exactly.
We wrestled them in their debut match with the NWA and mopped the floor with them. They've gotten so much better. Matter of fact, they're going to be in Dayton, Tennessee next weekend. So that's going to be an interesting situation. Let's talk about Carson Drake for a second. Carson Drake, homegrown talent.
Carson Drake, again, I understand. I think I understand the business pretty well. And I'm a very respectful guy, as you can attest to that. I just have to say, Carson Drake is not playing the asshole. He is an asshole.
Carson Drake is exactly what he portrays on television.
Yes, he is.
He is. I mean, you know, you've got MJF and AEW that actually is that guy.
Right.
Carson Drake is that guy.
Yes.
Now I get along with Carson just fine. The gents get along with Carson just fine. But you got to know how to take this guy. But you're right, he is. But again, former world television champion, current NWA JCP champion. I mean, I look at a lot of different things. Like I said, look at our current world champion. What championship did he hold for over 1,000 days before he became world champion? Guess what, guys? It was the NWA JCP championship.
Yep.
Now he's the world champion. So it's kind of like Jeff Jarrett told me one time. He said, you know what? He said, every time you book somebody on one of your spring shows, they end up going into the WWE Hall of Fame. You know, I booked him. He went into the Hall of Fame. I had Ricky and Robert booked. They went into the Hall of Fame. I had Kevin Nash booked. He went into the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, you know, it's, you know, I know it's coincidental, but I think it's funny. But the NWA is we're not to be taken lightly, regardless of, like I said, what these keyboard warriors or these so-called experts or these other people out here at these mud shows. And you know, some of the shows I'm talking about, because there's tons of them right here in Tennessee. But these mud show people that go around, oh, the NWA this and Joe Cazana, and he's an old man and blah, blah. Well, I tell you what, I might be an old man, but you want to try me? Let's go. Plain and simple. The challenge is out there. You want it? Come get it. I'm not a hard man to find. You know, people seem to forget, even though I'm a 60-year-old man, people seem to forget that I'm also a trained professional wrestler. And I was trained by one of the best fighters, best wrestlers, best technicians in the business of that era, that generation. His name was Rick Connors. And there was a reason that this guy consistently held the brass knuckle championship. He would beat the living hell out of you. And, you know, but the NWA it's just been a great ride. And I look forward to at least a few more years, you know, doing what we're doing. You know, we got Crockett Cup coming up real soon. And, you know, there's nothing more that I would love is for those boys to, you know, hoist that cup above their head. We're talking about NWA on Roku. Well, I can tell you right now, next week on Roku at 8:00 on Tuesday night, the Country Gentlemen are wrestling the Immortals for the World Tag Team Championships. What's going to happen? Who knows? I would love to say that we're going to win those titles, but those Immortals they're bad individuals. You know, they remind me a lot of the Road Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
And definitely. I've been in the ring with the Road Warriors a lot back in the day. And I can see the intensity in both of them, especially Odinson. Odison's got, I don't know what that stuff is he sprays in his mouth, but it's just, whatever it is, it seems to give him some kind of energy. I mean, I told one of the executives with the NWA, you need to check that. I think it's got marijuana in it. Marijuana is not legal in all the states, you know. So, but we've got them next week on Power. So, a lot of big things are coming down the pike for the Country Gentlemen. I can tell you that there's you know, it's just hard to explain just how happy I am for, you know, all of us within the National Wrestling Alliance. So, you know, it's been a hell of a ride, and we're going to continue going with it.
I think one thing that I really enjoy, and I've always enjoyed this about the NWA, I love the territorial system where you can go to different parts and learn different styles. You learn how to work different ways. I think that's just a true test of being to becoming a true professional wrestler. There are so many different styles and different ways of wrestling that people don't understand that when you hear the word professional wrestling, it's a broad stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And I look again, being biased and I'm just being truthful. I have a hard time seeing anyone touch the Southern style of wrestling. And
You
it's
can't.
just that-
Mm-mm. You know, you're 100% right. The southern style of wrestling. I mean, it's it's just different. I mean, it's more of a, I don't know. I think it's more hard hitting, in your face. Different styles. I mean, if you were to put us and KFW together, and you had to give us, quote unquote WWE, show titles. I'm telling you now, KFW, as innovative as they are, as hardcore as they are, they're the ECW, man.
yeah, definitely.
And we would be more traditional, which would be more of a Monday Night Type Raw kind of a show.
You're right.
But I mean, just because KFW is hardcore and they're very innovative, it doesn't mean that their wrestling is any different, because
Yeah.
they wrestle. And I mean, look at their roster. I mean, you've got Kinsey, you've got Kylie Page, you've got Hunter Drake, you've got Tyler Franks, Juventud Guerrera. I mean, it's kind of like the list goes on. You got Tyler Stevens, the Wall. I mean, you got all this talent that's within two territories. And could you imagine if KFW and JCP ran a joint show in Knoxville?
Oh yeah.
It's not that Tommy and I have never discussed it, because we have. It's just kind of like right now, talking to Tommy Henry is like talking to a brick wall. I mean, we are in a major, well, I mean, not really right at this very second, but we've been in some major battles over the last few months, and it's been tough. And I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of tore all of us down a little bit.
I attribute it like this. It's when you have your cousins, you love them, but sometimes you just got to whoop them back to where they need to be.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of like saying this, and I fully believe this. It's okay for KFW and JCP to wring each other's necks, but don't let somebody come in here from the outside and say anything about either one of us. But like I said, imagine a joint show. Whether we can get along long enough to put one together, probably not. But it's just one of those things. But it's just like you say, it's pretty cool knowing that the territory system is alive and well. Again, regardless of what all these naysayers are saying, regardless of what all these wannabe weekend warrior wrestler types, and they know who they are. They know exactly who they are. They're the ones that go online and they buy these replica belts, and they can buy a wrestling ring, and then they can put on a pair of tennis shoes or kick pads and sweatpants, and they think they're pro wrestlers. Well, it takes a hell of a lot more to be a professional wrestler than buying a replica belt and having a wrestling ring. It takes guts, it takes time, it takes knowledge, and it takes effort, and that's just, again, I'm a very bitter person when it comes to these mud showers, because they all think they know they all think they know everything about everything, and they don't know shit from apple butter.
Right.
So, I mean, and like I said, you got some good companies out there, and and to get away from just NWA territories, I'll tell you now, you've got Net Pro, which is up in Upper East Tennessee. Great place.
Just
Innovate, you know.
was just talking about you with Net Pro. I just did the interview probably about an hour and a half ago, and you
With
were
Dan.
brought up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but Net Pro, great place to be. Bringing in all this young talent, doing everything the right way. Innovate with Tony Gibbons, doing everything the right way. You come down this way, you've got Jaden Newman in Chattanooga, doing things the right way. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. I get, like I said, I get bitter about a lot of these mud showers. You know, hey, come on out to wherever and see all the wrestling stars. It's only going to cost you $25, $30 for ringside tickets. Hey, guess what? I'm in NWA territory. My ringside tickets are $15. You know, so it's like they're going to charge $30 so you can go watch Jim Smith wrestle against Dan Jones or Dan's whoever or Steve Smith or what, you know, whatever. Or you could come to a JCP or KFW show or Innovate or wherever, and you can see the stars of the National Wrestling Alliance, you know, or you can see some of the best on the independent scene at this point. So, I mean, you know, all wrestling is not the same.
Right. And that's where I tell people you have to understand what is your type of wrestling. That's the first thing off the bat. You have to figure out what type of wrestling that appeals to you. Then you have to do the research of finding the company that appeals to you.
Exactly.
Again, I'm not the I realize there are different companies, different styles. I can watch any wrestling, but will I be entertained by any wrestling? Probably not. But I'm different in the fact that the way I look at wrestling, I can look at a match and be breaking down the psychology of the match. Or I may be just looking to see, okay, I can tell he hadn't wrestled long. I see where he kind of made a mistake. No, but he recovered good. So it's different. I'm a different breed of a wrestling fan. A lot of times I have to get out of my own head of breaking certain things down just to enjoy it.
Right.
Really enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You go to an NWA show, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to be entertained. I mean, you're going to have a good time, and it's affordable. It really is.
I tell people this all the time. I said, this is such, it irritates me what TKO is doing. I said, but this is a positive. Now you have indie promotions. This is your chance to shine.
Yep.
You can get the fans that have gotten left. You can bring them into your world and let them know you are just as good as what they see there. And you're affordable. They actually give a damn about you and your family.
Yep.
They're not just trying to take every penny. So do your research.
Right,
Again,
exactly.
like anything else, research. Do your homework.
Yep.
Again, I'm very big in telling before I end my show, go support your local wrestling. What I mean by that, go support them, but go do some research. If they're not fan-friendly show, don't go. Don't try to take your family to something that you are against. It may be the next county over that has that. Or so again, you have to do research on anything that you do, because
100%,
you'll fall for anything, and and the thing that I really get tired of is everybody puts wrestling in a box.
Yeah, exactly. They rope everything together. The problem is, as good as we are, if some local yokel bunch of mud show wrestlers go out here and they stink up the joint and do whatever, and they're not a family friendly kind of a thing, and whatever, it all gets roped together.
Yep.
They give all of us a bad name.
Exactly.
And that is what pisses me off. There's a lot of things out there that piss me off about these people, but that's one of the biggest things. And then the ripoffs of just washing some of them. I mean, there's a reason that there's a video packages out there called trash bag wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. Enough of my talk about the mud showers, because like I said, they all know who they are and they all suck. So,
where do you see your company in 5 years?
oh Lord have mercy, man. Probably doing what we're doing now. I mean, we've been around, JCP has been around consistently since 2016. I've been running shows as a promoter since 2009. So I think that as long as the NWA is around, I think that we will be in NWA territory. That said, if something happens and the NWA, happens to go belly up, God forbid, at some point, which I don't think they will, but
right,
happen, then to be perfectly honest with you, I may sell everything and just get completely out of the business, because it won't be worth it to me, to continue doing just regular JCP stuff. I mean, it's just hard to say. I mean, but if all things being equal, we'll be doing exactly what we're doing right now. Hopefully by then we'll have already, won the world tag team titles and never lost them. Probably,
right,
hopefully win 3 or 4 different Crockett Cups. I mean, just the same old.
right. What does it mean to carry the legacy of your family's name in the business?
Oh Lord. It being John Cazana's grandson, it was tough, because of the reputation that my grandfather had. My grandfather's reputation was he was a fair, honest promoter, probably one of the most fair in the business. He always paid well. He took care of his talent, which is what I want to be, and which is what I've strived for, even if it means, losing money on a show. That I've always strived to take care of the talent, as far as that goes. But being my grandfather's grandson, I mean, it wasn't always easy. Now, when I got into business and I earned a name for myself, it's like the name got me to the show per se. But if I couldn't produce, I wouldn't have stayed, and I sure as hell wouldn't have had the longevity that I've had right now.
Right.
I'm 40 years in this business, and that's a long time. I tell my kids all the time, when you make it in this business, and it was the same when I made it, but when you make it in this business and they've seen it happen already, you're going to have these quote unquote so-called friends that you've run the towns with, run the roads with, and you've surpassed anything they've ever done, and you'll never hear from them again. They'll be the first people to bash you. They'll be the first people to just absolutely just cut you as much as they can. And then when you come around, they'll be the first people to jump on your bandwagon. But you just got to be very, very careful. And I've also given them this advice too, because this was given to me a long time ago. Be careful who you step on your way up the ladder, because you're sure as hell going to hit them on your way back down.
Exactly.
And that is, that's pretty much the legacy that I have. My father worked for my grandfather. So it was my father never wrestled. So it actually skipped him and went straight to me. So you know, that's about all I can say about the legacy.
So Stephen has sent in a question. He wants to know, has the NWA gotten back to its popularity? And if not, when will it and how?
It, as far as the popularity of the NWA, it's getting there. You got to understand that when the NWA came back, when Billy bought the NWA way back, I think it was in like 2010, 2011, something like that. No, I'm sorry. It was like 2014. It was starting to climb. I mean, their shows were starting to gain a lot of popularity, gain a lot of steam. And then boom, guess what? We just had a countrywide or a worldwide pandemic.
Yep.
So, a year or two of that, it completely destroyed anything that the NWA had built at that point. And now the NWA is slowly starting to get that oomph back, get that steam back, get that swagger back in their step. I mean, honestly, like I said, you look at what the NWA is doing, and we're doing stuff right now that no other company out there is doing. Yeah, we're doing vignettes, we're doing matches on television that could main event indie shows anywhere. I can tell you now that the Immortals versus the Country Gentlemen could main event any indie show in this country, especially with the World Tag Team titles on the line. But I think that getting the popularity back that the NWA had under Jim Crockett Promotions or the early onset of the Lightning One era, we're slowly starting to get that momentum back. So I mean, it's a daily thing. We're all over the place as far as internet shows, and we're going all over the country again. Traveling. I mean, we'll be in Dallas. We've already been up in New York. I mean, we've got shows coming up, all over the place. I just got back from New Mexico, for God's sakes. And we've got territory out there. So we're slowly starting to get that oomph back. And with, again, going top to bottom, and this hopefully answers your question, Steve, top to bottom from Silas to what, do you know anybody that's got more swagger than Silas Mason? any three people on the face of this earth, or at least in this wrestling business right now, that's as cocky as the Country Gentleman? Bear, I'm the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, or at least last time I checked, I was.
Right.
But honestly, I see where he's talking about the Vampire Tour. I was on that Vampire Tour, and it was huge. I mean, every night we were having wrestling fans by the thousands. Granted, they were there to see the Pumpkins, yes, but when they came, in between bands, and they came and they watched the wrestling, then they were into it, man. I mean, they were as into it as they were when they were watching the Pumpkins. But Billy has done a great job with promoting. He puts his music and the wrestling together. The man is a wrestling historian. He is regardless of what people say, this guy, he doesn't sleep. I've literally had text messages from him at 4 a.m, because I don't sleep either. So, you'll never see Nick Aldis versus Thrillbilly. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Unless Thrilly leaves the company, which right now he's not going to. He's long-term deal. But anyway, to get back to all the popularity, I really believe that the NWA this time next year, you're going to be hard pressed to keep us out of at least the minimum number 3 to number 4 spot as far as wrestling companies in this country. Popularity wise, we may be more popular than AEW.
The thing that I love is the slow burn, because I feel like when you do a slow burn, you get more people behind you and their passion is there.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to get them from not loving you, from not.
Dude, we haven't had a world title match the whole time we've been in the NWA until next week. So you want to talk about a slow burn? That's been a hell of a slow burn with the Country Gentlemen. Even the first set of Country Gentlemen with AJ and then that guy that will remain nameless. Even then, I mean, they didn't get a world title shot. I mean, they were the U.S. Tag Team Champions, just like AJ and KC were, which automatically makes them the number 1 contenders. It's like last year. It's like last year's Crockett Cup. Last year's Crockett Cup, I think it was Knox and Murdoch were number 1.
Right.
The Immortals were number 2. Why were the Immortals number 2? We were the U.S. Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
We should have been number 2. I've made that argument forever. So, I mean, bring back long-term storytelling on the indies. Brother, watch my show and you'll see long-term storylines.
Yes. I can attest to that.
Yeah. We've got 76 episodes. So if you've never seen, 78. If you've never seen any of them, go back and watch episode 1 and come all the way forward. You'll see the evolution, especially during season 4 when we become a territory. And we're in production to start the next set of television shows next weekend in Dayton, Tennessee. Papa Bear.
Hey, you never even know. You might, just might. It could be a chance a bear is seen on one of those episodes.
Well, I can tell you right now, you were seen on you would have been seen on the Cotton Eye Joe episodes if we had chosen to air those, but we didn't.
Right. And
Stevie, I hope you enjoy the shows. Like I said, if you start at the first show, you'll see just how crappy it was. And then you'll see us get better and better and better as the weeks progress. It's still storytelling 101, but the talent gets better and the production gets better. And, all in all, we start hitting our stride probably about a year or so before we became a territory.
And something that I love, and I don't think a lot of people get it. If you're a long-term fan, you have these long-term stories. But if you're a casual fan that just pop in for one show, you're not going to be lost. You can enjoy it, and then you can keep the next. You'll see it, then you're going to wonder, oh man, I'm going to have to see the next one. Before you know it, you'll watch the year of it and became a fan.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and that's how a lot of people become fans is they check out the story. I mean, like I said, you can go and you can watch our show, for example, and there's trying to think of one of the best stories we told was the Stew Crew versus the Country Gentlemen versus the Cazanas. It was a 4-year-long story. 4 years, Bear. I mean, granted, we were off and on, but a total of 4 years. And then right before, I guess it was about 8 months before the show we did called War Ain't No Game. I don't know if you remember that show or not.
Yes, I do.
Well, I tell you what, Stevie, next week you got a chance, March 7th, Dayton, Tennessee. I'm going to run off what I know about the card here in just a second, but you won't be disappointed. It's going to be awesome.
And Stevie, we're supposed to connect anyway. We can connect there next week.
There you go. But but again, it's oh God, where I lost my train of thought and I was on a roll. Oh, the war ain't no game.
Right.
Like I said, it was a 2-ring double cage war game style match. It was the Country Gentleman, me, Big L, and Devin Dixon against the Stew Crew, the Zenith, and Spanky. And it was a lot of blood, a lot of guts. Kyle Davis was in attendance as the commentator. I mean, there's a whole show, 44 minute, I think it's 44 minutes. The whole show is devoted to nothing but that match, because that's how long that sucker went. And there was not a person sitting down, and the place was sold out. I mean, we put 900 people in Cofield High School that night. So, you think we're a typical mud show? Think again. So, I mean, it's just, like I said, that was that was a long storyline. I never want to do a War Games match again. It was difficult, both logistically and being in the thing. It was definitely tough. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. But it was a lot of fun. And with Aaron Stevens in our corner, how can you go wrong?
Exactly. I would like to thank you, not just for doing my show, not just for being the great person that you are. I want to thank you and your sons for treating me like family. I mean, no matter where I go, if your son's on the card and they see me, they embrace me. No matter what show
Wait. I thought you were the cousin from Chattanooga. I mean, you busted my bubble now? What? I mean,
well, first off, I'm a little insulted that you said Chattanooga.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I would have said Knoxville, but if it was Knoxville, I'm from Knoxville. I would have known you. So.
Well, hey, sometimes you have that family member that could be right next to you. You don't even know it.
That's what everybody says about me during the territory days in Memphis. They say I got more sons I don't know what to do with. I remember when KC made his debut in Nashville. It was the best debut I've ever seen in my time in this business. You know, everything he did, he hit on all cylinders. And we get back to the hotel, and I'm on my way to dinner, and gonna have dinner with Galley and that bunch. And Joe Galley asked me, he says, "You got any more kids out there anywhere?" I said, "No." I said, "I didn't get around like Ricky Morton did." But no, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that about Ricky. But no, it's the Captain Kimmick, man. That was my idea, by the way, because I'm a Star Trek fan. Can't you tell? But yeah, man. No, you're always welcome at the shows. You know that, and you know, you buy a good ticket, I might even upgrade you.
And that's the thing about it, that where the appreciation for me grows, because again, no matter where I am, y'all treat me like family.
Well, you know something. The thing is, you go around this world one time. You can either be a pretty good guy or you can be an asshole. And my name's not Carson. So I mean, but I am an asshole. I mean, I'll tell you straight up, I'm one of the biggest ones there are, but I know how to put it in check too. So.
Right. and again, that's the thing about it. And I think too that you appreciate my knowledge. Even though I have a ton of knowledge, I never act like I know everything. I'm always respectful. There's never been a time that you've been around me, or anybody that told you that I'm disrespectful, I'm trying to stick my nose in stuff. If somebody asks and I can tell, I will if they want my opinion. The thing is, for me, I'm blessed to be around so many great people and wrestlers, and they treat me with respect. So why wouldn't I treat you with respect?
Things are a lot different than they were. If you'd have come in this business when I did so many years ago, they'd have treated you like shit. And that it's a shame that it was done that way, but it was done that way back then for a reason.
Right.
And okay, I get the reason, but I thought it was pretty effed up if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, it's a lot less of a hassle to be nice than it is to be a jerk. I'm a jerk enough. It's like these fans out there that want to consistently, holler this Colonel Sanders bullshit at me. I'm done with that. Stop it.
Right. Come up with something new.
Let me tell you, no, it's got nothing to do with being new. It's just the fact that, I don't sell chicken. I don't work at Hooters. I don't work at KFC. I don't wear the little tie like Harlan Sanders did. I wear a cowboy hat, I don't have that crazy little goatee like he did. Now I got a goatee. Jim Cornette said he liked it finally, but but yeah, just shut up and quit calling me Colonel Sanders. I am not Colonel Sanders. I don't own KFC. And the next time I hear it, I'm going to slap somebody right upside the head.
Well, make sure I am not that close when somebody does that.
Just don't call me Colonel Sanders.
Oh no, never that.
No, in all seriousness though, this is probably other than the Golden Boy gimmick as a wrestler, this is probably the best gimmick I've ever done. I mean, this is by far I've really had to learn how to be this guy, and thank you to Aaron Stevens for everything he's done with it. And thank you to Billy Corgan. I mean, Billy's given me direction when, it's like, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're going for. Here's your bullet points, and he's directed me through it. I remember it was Friday night. He said, you're getting tired, aren't you? And I said, well, yeah, a little bit. He said, well, I can tell. He said, when you get tired, you start dragging stuff out. Your promos start dragging. I said, yeah. I said, well, we were in like 30 segments Friday night. So it was a long night, but it was fun. And I'd do it all again tomorrow. All Billy has to do is call and ask me to come now, and I'm happy to do it. So he's a hell of a boss to have. He's a hell of a guy to work for. I can't say enough about this guy. He's the one that saw the talent in AJ. I mean, if you watch our documentary, he's on our documentary. And he's the one that saw the talent in KC. As a matter of fact, he put KC in the ring sight unseen. Quick little tidbit information. Right after NWA 75, when that man that will remain nameless walked out on his partner in St. Louis, it's crazy, but I went to Nashville. I was the lead-in guy going into Nashville. I wasn't managing the kids at the time.
Right.
And I made sure the ring and everything, all that stuff was there, up, ready to go, blah, 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 for TV for the next 2 days. And we were watching the pay-per-view, and I looked at my wife and I said, this isn't exactly going the way I was told it was going to go. And then then they got beat, and it was like, okay, something's up. And then the next day, I'm getting all this information from everybody, and they tell me what was going on, yada, yada, yada. Well, Billy comes up to me and he says, do you happen to have your gear with you? And I said, hell no, I don't have my gear with me. And he said, well, we'll find you some. He said, you may have to wrestle with AJ against, Daisy Kill and Talos, U.S. tag title rematch. I said, okay. So that we went on that day that way. And the next morning, Billy comes up to me and he said, Joe, he said, quick question. He says, can Jackson wrestle? And I said, well, he's greener than goose shit. but yeah, he's Dr. Tom trained, so yeah, he can go. And he said, okay. Next thing I know, he's in the match with his big brother, and it was like, oh, this is cool. And that was his debut in the NWA, and that's all it took. And he was on fire. And he had the best, like I said, he had the best debut I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We're not another NWA pay-per-view in Knoxville. Pay-per-view, probably not. We may come in for a premium live event at some point. We were talking about coming into Knoxville for Crockett Cup, just couldn't find a proper building for it. The city of Knoxville seems to really, really like their buildings very, very well. To the point to where they're way too expensive for anybody to afford.
Right.
You know, you're paying for each light socket you're using, for God's sake. So but
that breaks my heart to hear that, because I've never been to a Crockett Cup. I would have loved it to be in Knoxville.
I would have too. That would have been great, because I would have assured you that the Country Gentleman would have been in the running for winning the darn thing. Just something about Knoxville, and brings out the best in the gents. That's where AJ initially won the U.S. Tag Team belt.
Right.
Again, with that guy that will remain nameless. Yeah, they do charge for electricity and everything. They charge for everything over there. And they own every building in Knoxville. They own Chilhowie Park. They own the amphitheater. They own the Jacobs building, and they own the convention center, and it's just the Coliseum. So it's tough. But in any case, Crockett Cup would have been fun in Knoxville, but we're going to be in Dallas April the 4th for Crockett Cup. So, if you're in the Dallas area and you're listening to the Professor Bear show, that's where we're going to be. We're going to be right there at a place, and it's in Dallas, Texas. It's on the outskirts. It's called Forney, Texas.
Yeah,
great venue. Been there twice. Great venue.
My business partner lives in the Dallas area,
well, there you go.
I have to tell him that he's going to have to go to the show to support the Country Gentleman.
Yep, because we're definitely looking to win the thing. Hopefully we can shock the world. We're going in. I'm trying to think. I think we're number 6 seed, which I think is way too low, but it is what it is.
Sometimes you want to get counted out so you can just shock the world.
Yeah, well, I hope that shock factor is going to be there. That's what we're hoping for, and we shall see. I know you're running probably low on time here, but I want to go ahead and get one more thing out for Dayton. March the 7th, next week, Ray County Middle School. All the proceeds are going to benefit the football program at Ray County High School. So that's where all the proceeds are going to go. We've got a battle royal as the main event. Their football coach has actually decided he wanted to be in the battle royal.
Oh,
big mistake on his part. I don't know. We'll find out. We've got check this out. We have got a national heavyweight title match between Mr. Gut Check, Mike Mondo, and everybody knows Mondo, against Dalton McKenzie.
Ooh,
that's going to be a slugfest.
Yes, it is.
And what have you always heard? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's look at this. Carson Drake, current NWA Southeastern champion, NWA Joe Cazana Southeastern champion, and the current United States Tag Team champions, the Slime Balls, are going to be taking on the Country Gentleman and the current world heavyweight champion, Silas Mason.
Oh,
so that's going to be big.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. What else do I have in store for everybody over in Dayton? Oh, this should be interesting. Everybody that remembers Magic Jake and his crazy band of misfits.
Yes.
Magic Jake and Sal the Pal and Rabbit Rogue will also be in the house. My God, man. Kylie Page will be in the house, the current NWA JCP Women's Champion. Former World Women's Champion Kenzie Page will be in the house. My God, man. Hunter Drake will be in the house. It's just it's a who's who, dude. I mean, it is a who's who. If I had the poster in front of me, I could probably ramble off a couple other names, but I think I've rambled off enough names as it is. I mean, it's going to be one of those shows that you're going to want to come to, and who knows, there might be another surprise or two.
I will be in the house to make sure to enjoy it and to just enjoy seeing great action like I always do when I go to a.
Well, we appreciate you being there. We appreciate all the fans coming out. Leave your Colonel Sanders crap at home, because let's just put it this way: if I see any Colonel Sanders stuff out there, I might not even come to the ring.
Oh no, we can't have that now. Let
alone put that white suit on. If people knew how much it cost me to clean that thing every time I did, After 2 days of filming, yeah.
I could just imagine.
Yeah, it's rough, but I appreciate you having me on your show. Like I said, I'm sure you're up against your time because I'm up against my time because I have got to go to bed. I'm on no sleep for 3 days. Just getting back from Tampa.
Again, I always thank you for everything you've done for me, do for me, and thank y'all for treating me like family.
It's our pleasure, man. Our pleasure.
Guys, girls, thank you for joining us around the campfire for another amazing story. Again, wrestling is so subjective, but it brings so much joy to so many people, and to be able to have just a little view of what the promoters go through to bring such tremendous action to us, that please, if you do get a chance to see one, let them know how much you appreciate what they do. They will appreciate hearing that.
And that right there, Professor Bear, is a bona fide 100% guaranteed by the book statement.
All right. You heard it first, people. So before I get out of here, like I always love to do, go support your local indie wrestling.
But make sure it's good wrestling and not mud show wrestling.
Make sure you do your research and be able to go and enjoy yourself and show respect to the performers as they are busting their hump to entertain us.
That is a fact.
So with that being said, I am Professor Bear with my great friend Joe Cazana. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will be back around the campfire again real soon. Y'all have a great evening.